Well, hello everybody. Today I am bringing you an update on the excavation. You know, we are almost at the end of the Kentucky spring trip videos. If you haven't seen them, I really encourage you to watch them. They are fun. One of the common questions that we get, mainly from people here that I see on a regular basis, how's the house coming? So if I were going to do a video on the whole house and things that have changed, it would take me several videos, and I don't want to make long videos. So we'll have an update to the house video soon. I will say nothing's really been done since we've been down there. On the house itself, there has been some excavation, which I'm going to talk about in a moment. Beyond that, there will be just a broader channel update. We do have some huge news for you that we will be sharing here shortly. So by all means, like, comment, subscribe, do all those things, keep up with us. We really appreciate it too, by the way. Y'all have been through a lot with these 16 videos or 17. I don't even know. I forget how many we're at, but it's been a lot, trust me. So the excavation. So the excavation was one of the things that we had gone down to Kentucky for. It was at the time of us going down there, before we actually got there, it wasn't really a big issue for us. You know, we knew that the front mountain by the road had fallen off. And if you don't know that story, I think I messed up a timeline actually in one of the videos. In the video of the spring Kentucky trip, if I even actually mentioned it, I don't remember. They all kind of run together. But I had said like a month ago, which would have put it in February, because we were in Kentucky in March. It was not in February. It was actually in January. In January, Doug, who we had mentioned in one of the videos, one of the neighbors down there, had sent me this picture, and he said, "Hey, look at this." Well, my first reaction was like, what the heck? We had owned the house for a couple months. You know, the house itself was pretty much renovated, and what was nice about Doug going there was he kind of sent me some pictures showing me like what the problem was. And we knew that it was a problem with drainage from the back, which I had talked about in one of those spring Kentucky videos, so I'm not going to harp on it. But essentially the issue was that the water that was coming from the back of the house had nowhere to go. The drains were clogged up, and it was just basically running out front. That was the main issue. So we had to get that fixed, had to get the front fixed. There was also a couple of gutters that needed some attention as far as draining. There was like draining to nowhere, so we did have to address that. That was the original plan. We had like 4 people that were actually somewhat interested in doing the work. I say interested because 4 basically looked at the place. 2 of which never gave me a quote. Actually, I think there was 5, because there was one when we got back too, now that I think about it. So I don't even remember. I'll say 4 or 5. 2 or 3 never gave us a quote. The other 2 that did, there was 2 that had given us a quote, and the very first one was the one we actually decided to go with. And I'm gonna tell you why. We had gotten back from Kentucky, and the plan was we were basically going to send them a check to get started on the work. So we got back from Kentucky, and I sent them a message. I said, okay, so what's the address? I confirmed the amount with them, which was more money than we thought, but we were going to do it. And he said, well, as it turns out, I can't do it for that. Not what you want to hear. And you know, like, I'm the kind of person, like, if you give somebody a quote, you stick to it. So at first I was a little upset, but then I understood, because the issue was, with it being a state road, the state mandates a lot of what you do there. Now, not on the house itself, but where that's at, right? Because you have a right of way from the center line of the street, even though there's no lines on that street, I don't think. But the lines, there's, you know, from the center of the street basically into your property, I think it was 30 feet, they basically have, you know, the say-so in those kind of big jobs. Now you can plant flowers and stuff, but, you know, structural changes to the ground has to go through them. The other thing is that the road has to be blocked off, and the state insists on requiring their flag people to close the road partially, what would basically be 1 lane, so that the excavators could get, you know, to and fro from the, you know, the driveway down to there to get dirt and stone beds and stuff. The other issue was is that it made it significantly more expensive. Because the state had to be involved, it was this huge thing. You know, it was basically double the price that he told us. And, you know, that's not really something in our budget right now. You know, I did contact, again, the contractor. Ginger and I talked about it. He kind of gave me the rundown of it. And I called him again and I'm like, listen, you know, what can we do to fix this? Like, fix it without fixing it. And, you know, I'm not the kind of guy who wants to be cheap. Like, I don't want to be cheap on this stuff. But, you know, there is a budget, and that was over our budget significantly. And, you know, as I mentioned again, I hate to keep harping on it, but on one of those Kentucky trip videos, there's still a little more to do in the house. So, you know, we do have to plan for that. So it's not like this is the very last thing, and, you know, if we go over, we go over. No, that's not the case at all. So anyhow, what we wound up doing was I wound up talking, chickens are fighting back there. I wound up talking to the excavation company, the owner, the guy who runs it. And I said, what can we do to fix it? And so he told me, he said, well, he said, you're not going to fall out much more from what's there, that crater. He said, because you're almost at rock. And he said, you know, yeah, it will wash rock out. He said, but like, I mean, you know, it's not going to wash out in your lifetime, which he's right. I mean, you know, if you didn't correct the water problem, you know, maybe, but he said the biggest thing that you need to do is fix the water problem. So I told him, I said, well, give me a price on fixing the water problem. In other words, cleaning out the ditch along the driveway and just going straight down so that the water's got a place to go, hooking in a gutter to it, because there's a gutter on the back of the house that's not even there. And on top of that, you know, giving us a roadway up to the clearing, I call it, the first flat spot above our house on the mountain. And I told him, I said, you know, clear up there as much as you can. And I'm going to explain why too. Land clearing is not easy. It's not something that I have a lot of time for. I don't have the equipment for it, especially down there. And on top of that, like, this is on essentially a mountain. So, you know, it can go down. And, you know, I don't want to drop trees and stuff down and it go on the road and have a problem. So I just felt like this was a safety issue. And truthfully, the number one concern that I had about doing it myself was copperheads. I'm going to show you guys a picture that a friend sent to me. Yeah, it's copperhead. It's May. So, you know, it's a big issue with copperheads down there. And, you know, yes, I have like steel toe boots. I have long pants, but, you know, I don't want all this brush there. You know, and again, guys, it's just one of those things, like, cost wise, it's not that much to have that area cleaned up there. I don't really know how big it is. I'm going to say maybe like 20 foot wide, and I would say maybe 80 foot long. I don't know. I don't really know how far it goes over. But there is a good chunk up there that is usable, that will be usable. So, gutters, ditch along the driveway, fix all that water problem. Also, the roadway up, clear all that stuff. Plant fescue in all the areas that he's digging up, because the fescue will help suck up a lot of the rain and make it so that, you know, it just doesn't wash out more. Other than that stuff, guys, what he said to do was basically just plant fescue in the crater in the front, because it can't go out much more. Can go out a little more, but not much. It's not a threat to the house. And on top of that, he said, you know, he said, because we're going to put a fence up there anyway, like, Isaiah does not understand the concept of mountains. So we do need a barrier there. So there will be a fence there. Like, we're not just going to leave it open for safety reasons. There's also 2 pipes that come out of that mountain. One is just basically wastewater, not, you know, not like poop water, but like drain water. And also the other one is gutter water. Those just kind of go off the mountain, and then it's just a drop. There's just a pipe coming straight out. So all the water is just kind of like flowing down, and it's going on the grass, and it has a propensity basically to wash out the bottom of the mountain, creating a slide like what you saw. So his hypothesis was, if we eliminate all the water problems, like all the water going over there, it should fix it. So he's not going to eliminate those drains. What he's going to do is he's just basically going to attach like this black plastic pipe. They use a lot down there. I've seen people use it up here. Attach it to those, you know, to those drain pipes coming out of the side of the mountain, and then the water will just flow with those pipes, and it will just flow into to the side of the property, and that will eliminate a lot of that problem. Those things, it doesn't sound like a lot, guys, but it is a huge amount of work. Like, I can't even tell you. Huge amount of work. They did start about a week ago, which was good. They've had a lot of rain, which we've had here too, and they can't really do anything in the rain. I understand that, but they did get started, which is the picture you saw in the thumbnail, and I'll reattach it here. That's the picture that I have so far. They're going to widen it out a little bit from what you see. They're also going to go down a little more. It's kind of rough right now, but they're going to be doing a lot more on that mountain is the point. So the excavation work is underway, guys, and it hopefully will be done within the next couple of weeks. It's going to be weather depending, right? Like, they can't do this in rain. It's just not safe. So with that, guys, I will let you go. I appreciate all of you, and again, thank you so much for likes, comments, subscriptions, all this stuff you guys are doing for our channel. We really appreciate it. We will have some more updates as this progresses, but again, thank you so much for watching. Comment below, let us know how you're doing, and we'd love to get into contact with you and follow up with you. Thank you so much. God bless.